Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and today I'm here for Scrapbook Boutique, and I have actually I'm doing a series of cards using this awesome stamp and die set from Concord 9th, and it's called Bloom's Fill-In, and it has it's the most amazing background, and there's so many possibilities because it is one that you can make your own, and with the coordinating dies they're really versatile too. So today's card, I thought I'd use my Misty because it is a large background stamp, and I've got some distress oxiding. This is the antique linen, and this is a new stamp, so I have prepped it with an eraser, just ran that over the top of the stamp, and I have stamped it out a couple of times just to try and condition it because it's such a bold background. And I don't know if you know much about the photopolymer stamps, but the more you use them, the better they work. And obviously some inks are going to work differently to others, so it's just a matter of playing and working out. And obviously cardstocks, they all work differently too, so just need to play and work out what looks good and what you're happy with and what sort of inks suit the cardstock you're using and the colours that you want. Right, so I did need to do this a couple of times, and I found that the background, even though it did look a little bit splotchy in the beginning, as it dried over time, the pigment ink did sort of even out. So I'm using it's a speedball, it's just a roller. You can just use your fingertips to press over the top, and that just helped give me a more even coverage on this piece of cardstock. Isn't this fabulous? Okay, so the filler stamps on this set give you lots of opportunities as well. So you can either do, so the leaves, I just chose to do the vein of the leaf, and I'm using a really dark green. This is an Altenew colour called Evergreen. And the other option is that you can also use the base colour of the leaf with or without the veins. So the flowers are the same in this set. They're also multi-layering or not. You can pretty much, the possibilities really are endless. The main flower, you can either just do the center, 2 layers in the center, the edges, the whole thing. It's a really versatile set. I just love it. And the great thing is you can do whatever colors you want. The flowers that I'm stamping out here are actually separate. I'm just stamping them at the same time to save time, but you can actually stamp them 2 different colors if you wanted to as well. I'm going for a more muted tone and a more subtle look today, so pale pink. I don't use it very often, but for some reason it seemed to work. I have the Frosty Pink from Altenew, and I'm layering 2 layers of the stamp and sort of leaving the center white, and then I can just trim down my panel with my guillotine trimmer. I am really liking the way that this cuts cardstock. It gives a really crisp cut and don't end up with any frayed edges, don't have to worry about replacing blades. I just have to take a little bit longer to do it because I'm not the most coordinated person in the world. Right, so now it's onto the matching dies, and there's 3 different sort of layers in the dies. I have the one that actually cuts out the bouquet of flowers, which I've done. I didn't want to put any tape on that, so I just used my magnetic plate in my Big Shot to hold that in place as I ran it through. I've cut out a single flower that I've stamped up with the coordinating, like with the same pink ink. And then this is amazing. This is like a panel die, but it's such a unique shape. And I thought it'd be fun just to sort of recess the center panel down. So the way I do that is I hold my design paper panel that I've cut in place on the front of my card. This is a top fold card, and then I can just inlay the panel that I've cut, and then I can remove the outside layer so that I can pop that up. then I know that everything's going to be in exactly the right place on the front of my card. So I've used some fun foam and some score tape, as well as my ATG adhesive, just to adhere that on, and I can just pop that on the front of my card. Then I can use I'm using some foam squares here, a couple of different sizes, to pop up both my bouquet layer and also the little flower layer as well. So you can actually, you can make a whole card just using these die cut flowers. It's great. And they also have like a little leaf, a fern leaf die within that die cut set as well, as some border images and different kind of layering. It's awesome. Okay, I've got the MFT rectangle word window frame, and my sentiment comes from the Biddy Bears stamp set, just using some Onyx Black ink to stamp that out on the white center of the frame. This die actually cuts the center as well as the frame. I want to pop this up, so I have cut a piece of cardstock that's the same size, and then just using my dotted adhesive to hold that in place. I really like the dotted adhesive, or using the liquid adhesive for this, just because then you can't see the glue. If I tried to use like the ATG, it's just way too fat. And there'd be glue hanging out everywhere. My card would be sticking onto everything. Not pretty. And then I can just use the foam squares again. I've laid them up, and then I can just pop my sentiment on the lower left corner of my card front. I decided to get some Nuvo drops out today, and I did actually adhere them directly on my card. And this beautiful blue colour is called Caribbean Ocean. The other thing I did come in and do afterwards, just to cover up a couple of the patchy spots that I wasn't really happy with, was use some pale gold Nuvo dots, just sort of spread around the whole design. Quite a busy card for me today, but really pretty. I'll link everything below. Thanks for joining me, and I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.